When Callia and Gallas went into the fairy forest in search of the missing kids, Callia found a gorgeous fairy secretly watching them by hiding behind a tree. And as Callia asked if Gallas also saw the fairy, Gallas answered that she didn't see anyone except them. Perplexed, Callia inquired who the fairy was, to which the fairy introduced herself as Kia. But before Callia could ask further, Kia requested her to come along with her to a particular place. However, Callia soon realized that the fairy just wanted to play with them, so she somehow escaped the place and arrived at a dark cave where she discovered the lichen wolf's footprints. Observing this, they both decided to move deeper into the cave. Inside, as Callia sensed the wolf's presence, she activated her sword and suggests Gallas that they must finish it quickly before Dr. Allen punished them. So, let's dive into the chapters 36 and 37 of the manhwa, The Baby Isn't Yours. As Callia and Gallas comes out of the dark cave, they find two injured lichen wolves, one of which is holding one of the missing kids. Observing this, Callia reflects that it looks like they only took one kid hostage. Approaching them, she adds that these wolves are smart, as they took only one kid as a hostage and hide the other kid somewhere else. Suddenly, one of the wolves attacks Callia with its sharp paws. However, Callia activates her predatory gaze and cuts the wolf's paw with a lightning speed. She then catches the hostage kid and arrives behind the wolves like a ninja. Placing the unconscious kid in a safe place, she prepares her sword to take down the escaping wolf. By throwing her sword like an arrow towards the wolf, she reflects that she will kill the wolf before it escapes. The wolf takes Callia's sword directly at its neck and gets assassinated right away. Removing the sword, Callia apologizes to her baby and expresses if it wasn't for her baby, she would have ripped the wolves apart and killed them without leaving a trace. Meanwhile, Callia's baby begins to kick inside the belly. Sensing this, Callia asks if she scared her baby and quickly promises that she will only think of good things. Nevertheless, a third lichen wolf attacks from behind, but Callia defends herself from it. Finding the third one, she confusingly wonders if she should capture this one alive. Callia then imagines Shyman's face and adds that if he was here, he'd tell her what she should do. Forwarding her sword, she decides to amputate the wolves' limbs and capture them alive. Yet before she can proceed, she flinches at the sight of a long spear piercing the wolf out of nowhere. And the owner of the spear is none other than Kia's father. Noting his presence, Callia glances into his eyes with a serious expression. Suddenly, Kia emerges from behind her father and quickly embraces Callia with a smile. Witnessing this, the man inquires about Callia's identity, to which Callia informs him that she is Callia Taxicate from the nearby village Lua. Learning Callia's name, the man takes out his spear from the dead wolf and activates the magical gate upon the wolf's wound. As it activates, the gate throws a crystal piece out of it, which is spiraled with many spelled circles around it. Observing this, Callia wonders what he is doing. The big man explains that this is the fairy stone that has been stained by evil and turned into beasts. Learning this shocking revelation, Callia wonders if those lichen beasts were fairies before. The man adds that someone took the heart of a living fairy and put it into the body of a beast, and even though they were dead, the fairies still couldn't be reassured and eventually turned into a chimera. Listening to the word chimera, Callia recalls that chimera is said to be a dark magic, or in other words, it was divine medicine to help prolong life. And although it was very attractive and at the same time very dangerous, it has been banned from use. But if chimera was banned a long time ago, why and who is still practicing this taboo even now? Noting Callia's scared face, Kia caresses her cheeks and asks if she is feeling okay. Sensing Kia's kindness, Callia wonders why this fairy is so kind. Glancing at the man, she questions why he can't do anything about chimera when he already knows it. Her question prompts the big man to reflect that he is Callia and the king of fairies. He then recalls that fairy pregnant women's fetuses take 5 years to grow up, as they born with their own fairy stones. Because all fairies have their own fairy stone and they gather power for their body. However, sometimes the fairy stones grow faster or slower than usual, and Callia's daughter Kia is such a case, as even after 8 years she was born with difficulty. Plus, compared to her siblings, Kia was weaker, yet she was a gentle and lovely child more than anyone. Therefore, he and his other children always taken care of Kia with utmost care. Callia himself leaves no loophole in her proper growth. But when Kia entered adulthood, she revealed that she had fallen in love with a human. Hearing this, Callia tried to explain that humans will die soon, and she will get pain from them. Yet she protested his concern and expressed that she loves that human as much as her father, and she is destined to live with that human, even if that human has a short life. Enraged, Callia called Kia a stupid girl and commanded her never come to this fairy forest in the future. Yet he didn't know that he would never see Kia again after she left the forest, as his lovely daughter dies outside the forest mysteriously. And as he came to know Kia's death, he cursed himself for letting her go alone. After recalling his sad memories about Kia, Callia reveals that this Kia is a piece of his dead daughter's actual soul. He explains that this forest is filled with the power of fairy spirits, and this piece of soul can maintain its form by living in this area. However, the fact is that Callia can see this piece of Kia's soul, as only those with a predestined relationship with Kia can see it. Callia then raises his spear towards Callia and questions her actual identity and how she can see Kia's soul. Dear viewers, apologies for the interruption. If you're genuinely enjoying the content on this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe icon with all notifications, since this little support of yours will help this creator continue delivering high-quality work to brighten your day. And take a moment at the end of the video to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts on the content. Your feedback means a lot. Now, let's not take up too much of your time and jump back into the story. Suddenly, Kia's spirit comes to Callia's defense. Seeing this, he asks why she is protecting Callia so earnestly. Enraged, Kia cutely rebukes Callia, mentioning he is an evil dad and dangerous too. Kia then starts to push him away from Callia and expresses that she hates him. Noting this, Callia wonders why the place where Kia touched her felt so warm and why she is trying desperately to protect her. Meanwhile, Callia caresses angry Kia's head and apologizes for his hasty behavior. Suddenly, Callia remembers that she left Gallas with the missing kids at the gate of the cave. From here, the scene shifts to the forest nearby the cave, where Gallas is holding the injured kids in her arms and urges them to hold on a little longer. Observing a big egg in McKenna's daughter's hands, Gallas asks what that is. Clenching her lips, she wonders if Callia is still fighting the lichen wolves alone. Observing the girl's wet eyes, Gallas expresses that they will go outside the forest very soon. Embracing the kids tightly, she reflects that even if she's alone, she has to protect the kids. However, a massive lichen wolf appears in front of them out of nowhere. Witnessing the wolf so close, Gallas freezes in place with a gruesome expression on his face. Scared, she reflects that even if she picks up her sword right away, she won't make it in time. Suddenly, the strange egg starts to radiate a heavy blinding light around itself. The light causes the wolf to crash down on the ground. Perplexed, Gallas wonders if this strange egg is trying to save them from the wolf. Pissed, the wolf delivers a loud howling and showcases its sharp teeth. But before the wolf can harm them, Callia arrives behind the wolf and takes it down with a single blow. Learning of Callia's presence, Gallas starts to cry heavily. To this, Callia inquires if she and the kids are all right. With mixed feelings, Gallas responds she is okay but the kids are not, as these kids got hurt more than her and have a high fever. Plus, the girl's wound has injected poison into her blood veins. Hearing this, Callia reflects that if the girl is not detoxified right now, she will die. Callia also arrives following Callia and mentions that the wound is too deep. He inquires if those are the missing kids for whom Callia came inside the forest. To this, she states that these are kids who accidentally went into the forest and get lost. Noticing the girl's condition, Callia expresses that the fairies love to fascinate children. He then commands his celestial spirit to suck out the poison from the girl. Complying, the spirit quickly cures the girl by sucking the poison. Perplexed, Callia expresses her gratitude to him for saving the kid. Nevertheless, Callia points his spear at the egg and mentions that this is a dragon's egg. Shocked, Callia reflects that despite it's rare to discover a dragon's egg in the human world, but if it's found in the fairy forest then it has something to do with fairies. Callia requests Callia to hand over the egg, as if it doesn't have a mother then he will kill it before it hatches. He then tries to seal the dragon's egg with his sealing power. Witnessing this, Gallas protests the decision, mentioning that the egg protected them before. Meanwhile, Callia recalls her past and reflects that she was also abandoned by her parents and forced to live in a dirty alley by eating up trash foods. Suddenly, Callia comes to defend the dragon's egg and declares that they'll take this egg with them. Annoyed, Callia mentions that it's not an existence that humans can handle. Nervous, Callia expresses that she knows she can't handle the egg alone, but she doesn't want that egg to experience the same fate she had, because even if it's not something she can choose, she struggled with all her might to live a happy life and to fulfill her life's duty. With a determined expression, Callia informs Callia that the egg wants to live, and he absolutely can't kill it. As we wrap up today's segment, thank you for being with us until the very end. I'll be sharing fresh videos of this manga and exciting new series every weekend. Your support is invaluable, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your encouragement keeps the channel thriving, and I appreciate it immensely. Until next time, take care and goodbye.